Alrighty, everyone. Chris I here, and today we are starting Dark Souls Remastered. Now that Demon Souls Remake has been conquered, next up is the one that made it popular, Dark Souls Remastered. Now, I will be showing how to get every achievement in the game, even though I already have all of them, which is fantastic. And yes, this is on Xbox, not PlayStation, but the methods still apply regardless of platform you are playing on. And without further ado, let's get right into it. And this is my old file that I got when the game first released. Got him to max level, and I have literally everything there. And like it's glitched into oblivion. Like I duplicated crafting materials, boss souls, you name it. But the only glitch we're going to be utilizing in this run is the Unlimited Souls glitch using soul items, and if you know what that is, you know this is going to make the game an absolute cakewalk. So, without further ado, let's start. And typically, if I ever replay a Souls game, I always rename my character Morgoth instead of Melkor. Again, Lord of the Rings stands, you know what that means. Gonna go with male. For the starting class, I highly recommend just warrior because it's the most balanced, but really you can really choose whatever you want, really. But if it's your first time playing, I recommend warrior. Gift is always gonna be the master key. It's the best one, so just grab that. Physique, you know what, let's just stay average. I could make myself like super buff and upper body. And you know what? Let's do that. Face. What am I going to do? I could do Jubilant Katarina because I want to make my guy look ridiculous. But then again, I might just stay with the normal. Go with short. Although I kind of have more like light brown. So this is essentially me. More or less. And you can customize a bit more, but that's the gist of it. And with that, let's start. And because I don't want to get copyright claimed again, I'm skipping the opening cutscene. And skip that, and here we are. Alrighty. Oh wait, what am I doing? First, gotta take off some of this so I can fast roll. There we go. First, now I gotta like unlearn like the muscle memory that I've been doing with the Demon Souls remake. And another thing, even though I enjoy Demon Souls remake, one thing I won't miss is the item and equipment burden. Alright. Head on up here. So glad you can actually move up like ladders faster. And you can slide down them too. Alright, like that. I mean, you can rest it out if you want. I will just because. And something I think they added later on in the series, once you light a bonfire, that counts as resting at it. I think they add that from like Dark Souls 2 on. But I could be wrong. Someone let me know in chat if I'm incorrect. Alright, we go up there. You can see the big fat asylum demon here. We are not going to fight him yet because we can't. You can kill him here, but I just recommend not. So just run right past, let that gate shut. Light this bonfire. Press that again if you so choose. Doesn't matter if you do, because if you die here, then I'm sorry, this game is not for you. Alright, right here we are gonna grab our shield. Gear shield, a very good starting shield, and pretty good shield in general. And now we have an actual weapon. Can I get the backstab off of him? Yes, I can. Enemies are far easier to backstab, I think, in this game than pretty much any other Souls game. Now, if you go over here, you can see an item, which we won't be able to get just yet, but we will be coming back to the asylum later. And grabbing that, that is a ring that is going to be very useful. And there's good old Oscar, then trigger the boulder trap. Like, unlike Demon Souls, I know this game backwards and forwards, and I should have been able to parry that if I parried, but that's my mistake. But no big deal. And we open this, and would you look at that, we are back at the bonfire that we first rested at. Now that the boulder fell down, we can talk to good old Oscar, and we'll get our Estus flask.
Regrettably.
Tell him yes. Our Estus flask, and we get the key for moving on, and you can just waste him because there is no tendency in this game. Thank God. And you get some souls on top of it. Alright, now we have that open. And make our way this way. There's some more guys over here. There's a guy with an archer in the back. I do love how you can do a jump attack if you, like, just so tap it. Whoop. Yeah, you do not want to get hit by that attack, because it really hurts, especially this early on. Okay, now I'm going to try and parry this guy. I might be a bit rusty. Nope, got him. Alright. Keep moving to the D-pad because I'm used to the PlayStation control, but now I'm playing on Xbox, so I'm like all thrown around here. And here we just do a plunging attack, which is attacking as you fall. And this guy's kind of like the Vanguard Demon Souls, except even easier. So just basically hug him on the back and just whack him. And you should be good. And like in Demon Souls, you can kind of like lock them into a constant defending that attack by staying behind them. And with that, he's dead. And we get the Pilgrim's Key. Now, if you actually manage to kill him when you first show up, you actually can get his weapon. But because of how low your stats are, you won't be able to use it for quite a bit. And we got 2,000 souls, use his key, and open this door. Alright, now there's nothing over here except one soul item, but do not use it yet. And over here is Snuggly the Crow. I think. Is she proc yet? It's weird. Sometimes she does like start talking here, but basically this is the nest where you drop items and you get stuff in return in this game. But I guess she fully activates when we come back. Regardless, that's where she is. And with that, do this, we'll get the giant crow to drag us all the way to Lordran, drop us off, and here we are at good old Fireland Shrine. We're at the bonfire. And since this is a slightly kindled bonfire, meaning it's a higher level than a base bonfire, we get 10 Estus flasks. Which is very good. And here's the successor to the crestfallen blue guy from the Nexus. I think he is the same voice actor, too, which is even funnier. I mean, you can talk to him if you want to like learn about more of the stuff going on around the world, or just the basic gist, but nothing we really need to worry about. Look at Vita Video if you want to know all the lore. I know pretty much most of it off the top of my head. Grab some humanity. Okay. Down here, we can grab some fire bombs. And over here is where we're going to join our first covenant, which you will need for an achievement. There is no soul item here, right? Yes. Talk to this guy, good old Petrus, who I hate. We're gonna kill him later. So keep talking to him. He'll give us this.
Oh, that's good.
Tell him yes. Then I'll ask you to join your covenant, which abandons your former covenant. So just say yes. And now you should get the Way of White Covenant achievement.
Now let me only.
Now, I don't think you have to join it to get to pop, but if you do, then just join it. Then you can always, like, change your allegiance at a bonfire, which is a change they brought with the remastered version of Dark Souls. And learn his gesture, because why not? And there is, in fact, no gesture achievement, so you can just grab them if you want, but you don't need to get them. I mean, he sells, like, some pretty basic miracles, all of which you would need to buy to get all the miracles. And I wouldn't grabbing... You get free talisman in just a second, so I wouldn't recommend buying any just yet.
Come again.
Okay, now that he's done... Gonna get the rest of the items in this area. Another soul item, again, don't use it yet. That's actually a key that opens the locked door behind the shield hollow that we parried back at the asylum, but we can't quite get there yet. But we will get there maybe this stream, depending how things go. Now you drop down here, looks like you'll fall to your death, but there's actually a floor here. Drop out here, and there's a bunch of chests. Now none of these are mimics, thankfully. And I'll tell you how to tell which ones are which later on. Correct red eye orb. So basically, if you want to invade, you need that. I think. Or do you need the full red eye? I kind of forget. Yep, that's how you invade. So you get that right at the beginning as opposed to killing the maiden in black. Morning Star and a talisman. Morning Star is a very nice early game weapon because it causes bleed. And some Homeward Bone, which is essentially like Archstone shards in Demon Souls. It basically warps you back to the last place you rested as opposed to a Nexus, because this is basically a long, open, connected world. And Lloyd's Talisman, which is useful for PvP and maybe mimics. So we'll roll down that so you don't get damaged too much. And as you heard that sound, some skeletons spawned. Or, like, reconstituted themselves. And they will absolutely demolish you this early on in the game, so just run away. Reset the bonfire to despawn them. And now we're going to be getting the few items that are over there. But first, we're going to grab an item you could get right now. But if it's too risky, you don't need to get this now because you can get it way later and way safer. Now, you can reinforce your Estus flask, which increases the amount of healing the flasks give you by giving her a Firekeeper soul. And per playthrough, you can only get like 6 out of the possible plus 7 that you can upgrade it to. So for now, I'm going to show you how to get a really early game one. But first, let me put on Homeward Bone, and we are going to want to put on the Humanity for our hot bar. Well, as we go down this massive adder, how are you doing today, chat? Hope everyone had a great Easter. I had a great time. Because every year we do some sort of scavenger hunt after we actually find all the quote-unquote eggs in the house. And then we, like, search outside for whatnot. We do our own little Easter hunt after the initial one. And it was just a great time. Got to eat Easter bread, have our good steak, because Lent is over, for those who celebrate it. And here we are in New Londo Ruins. Well, anyway, back to Easter. Let me know what you all did for Easter. Do anything special or whatnot? And down here is actually Rickert of Vinheim, who's one of our smiths who we'll need to go to for 2 of the weapon achievements. He will basically give us
Come back soon.
magic and enchanted weapons. He upgrades those 2 weapon paths. But we don't have the embers we need to do that quite yet. Oh, before I continue with New Londo Ruins, let's actually go here. The reason you want the master key is because you can open doors you aren't technically supposed to go to yet. Like, see, use master key, and we are in the Valley of the Drakes. A whole other area. Now, that way leads directly to Blighttown. So if you really want to speedrun the game, you can just use the master key, then just book it on down there to Blighttown. Now, there are a few items over there, but I want to be able to kill the undead dragon that's just chilling on that cliff, so we're gonna wait a bit before we get those. And just go right back inside to New Londo Ruins. I don't think they respawned. Nope, because it hasn't been long enough. So the reason I'm killing all these guys is because our goal is to get to 2,997 souls exactly. Because we are going to need that many in order to do a very overpowered glitch, which still works. And at this point, they are never going to patch it, so I say make use of it right now, but you never know. They might shadow drop a patch, but I highly doubt it at this point because it's been literally years, going on 5 years since this game came out. And I don't think they're going to patch it. There's the S-Stock. Now, when we get a weapon we need for, like, the Knight's Honor achievement, which is probably the most irritating achievement in the game, to get, like, all rare weapons, I will let you know. But so far, we have not found any yet. I will let you know when we get there. Let's get rid of them. And Transient Curse. Now, there are ghosts over there that you can't harm normally unless you pop a Transient Curse and you have, like, this little gray aura around you, then you'll be able to harm them. But what we're gonna do is right above my head there is a little shack that's being guarded by ghosts where we can run in, grab a Firekeeper soul, then we can warp right back to the bonfire before they kill us, allowing us to get our Estus Flask 2+1, which is what we're going to do. Now, you don't need to do this now. I just know the game well enough where I can actually do this. But you can always come back to this later when you're technically supposed to. Okay, now you need to run. Grab that. Pop downward bone, hit yes, and go fast, because they are literally right behind you. And if you just do exactly what I just did, you should be back at the bonfire with a Firekeeper soul. So just go back down to Anastasia, down here. Reinforce Estus Flask. Hit yes. And as you can see, it says reinforced, and now it's at +1. So already here, and your already healing can be boosted a bit more. Now we can grab the rest of the items that are in this area. And we may die as we grab some of these items because they are being guarded by a bunch of skeletons. So we're going to have to, like, run back and forth a few times just to make sure we don't have as big a mob chasing us. Alright, before we head back down, there's something else up here. I think that's another soul item. Now, there's a very good reason I'm saving all of these, and you'll see soon. Because it's going to make us hilariously overpowered. And pretty early on. Okay. Now, there's a bunch of items down here, and we are going to grab all of them, but we could very well die. Because if we do die, we are going to have to grab our souls because, well, quite frankly, it'll just save us time for farming later. Because, again, we need 2,997 souls at a bare minimum to do the glitch I'm trying to perform. So grab that. At this point, like, if you spawn them, I would just recommend running away and head back to the bonfire. Or you could just let them kill you right here, because the only real penalty for dying is that if you're in your human form, because we are basically the equivalent of our soul form right now. We are hollow. And to reverse hollowing, we would need to rest of the bonfire, hit reverse hollowing, and we need humanity to do so. Then we will basically turn to human instead of this, like, walking slab of corrupted beef jerky that we currently are. Alright, so we grabbed that one. Now, there are no new unique weapons back here, but the Zweihander is a very good early game, like, heavy weapon. Granted, you probably won't be able to use it, but you can get it super early right down there. Okay, that's a soul item right there, but let's just run down this way first, so we can save the amount of trips we take. Grab that shield. Oh, this is such a bad idea. Zweihander. Run up here. Winged spear. Oh, this is bad. Yep, as you can see, more and more skeletons are chasing us. Now, if you really want to save on time and don't want to run all the way back to the bonfire, you could just let them kill you, like, right up here, because once you respawn, they will be all the way down there. Now oh, wow, one actually seems to have fallen off. Okay, now they have all been reset. So I got the shield, the soul item that was there, I got the spear and this Zweihander. Yep. And all that's left is to get the binoculars, which is way in the back, literally on the edge of a cliff. So we are going to grab that, then quickly homeward bone away, because there's no way we'll get past everything going the normal way. So you kind of got to, like, serpentine your way around the graves. Grab the binoculars, and homeward bone out of here. And with that, that's all the items over there, so we don't have to have our heart in our throats to run from the skeletons, so that's done. Rest again, just because. And with that, we can now actually continue forward. And again, very important, you have not used any of the soul items that we've picked up so far. Okay. Wow. Like that lunge they do is like the most wonky shit ever. Now this guy with a firebomb, I would recommend just smacking him. Wow, he absolutely launched his buddy there. Alright, there's nothing up here, and we got the two guys up there. Alright, before we continue, we can grab an item under the bridge here. Now that we can jump in this game. There we go. He's taken care of. Another soul item. Now, you have to run, which is like, for Xbox, is running and holding B, then press it again as you're running to jump. And it's the same button configuration here. It's just called something different on PlayStation. So you'd be like holding circle, then pressing it again to jump. All right, let's jump right there to clear the gap. It's really the only way you can get up here. And even though it doesn't look like it, you can just like push against the wall and you're able to do it. And we get a ring of sacrifice, our first ring. Essentially, if you wear that and you die, you don't lose souls upon death, but the ring breaks. So if you think you're going to die or are afraid of it, by all means put it on. But I would recommend not putting it on yet. Wow, almost didn't make that jump. That's a very wonky ledge there. Another soul item, and now there's a rat over here that can very easily poison you, and poison is absolutely bullshit in this game. Like, it's dangerous. So just do a strong attack, and you should be able to kill him. Soul of the Lost Undead. Now, that gate over there is a shortcut we will open later on, but not yet. So go on right up here, and we will be in the Undead Burg. Phew. Like, see, like, their lunge attack is some of the most wonky shit, like, ever. Because it comes out of nowhere, and they are really fast with it, too. Now, there's two guys over here. I would just recommend two-handing your weapon and smacking them with it. Should be plenty. Before we go through the fog wall, there's some items we can grab down here. Roll through these barrels, and you'll be able to drop down. Another soul item. Drop down again. Now, there's actually supposed to be a guy here, but I feel like in the remaster they extended his aggro range, because what's supposed to happen is you're supposed to walk forward, have some guys spawn, then have that guy spawn behind you, so it's like a big old gangbang. But they made his, like, AI more, I guess, aggressive, because, like, he, like, runs almost every single time now, like, ahead, which I always found strange. Alright, so these guys are gonna spawn. You can actually see them on the ledge earlier on. Like, see right there. They were actually hanging on the ledge here. And you can actually knock these two off. But these two guys will come up regardless of what you do. Ooh. Bit sloppy there. I'm going to be pretty generous with my Estus just because I want to make sure I don't die yet. Grab some rubbish. We can trade Snuggly the Crow with an item for that. I think you get a Titanite chunk for trading that with Snuggly. And some humanity. And as you can see, we are now back at the beginning here. So a nice little... Like, see, like, he went all the way around back to the beginning. Like, from down there. So he walked the entire length of where we just did, went up the ladder, went down and fell down because he saw us from down there. I swear, they absolutely made his AI a bit different in the remaster as opposed to the original one. Alright, step through the fog door. Grab another soul item. And as you can see by our soul count, we have plenty of souls to do the glitch. Can't get over there just yet, so go up here, and there's the big red dragon. Well, don't run too far ahead, because he can actually step on you and damage you. Like, I don't think it's enough to kill you, but it does hurt quite a bit. So kite this guy over. In this stage in the game, like, they're pretty much just basic enemies right now. There's your first crossbow guy, so just stay down here and he won't be able to really hit you. As I say that, and he headshots me on top of it. Okay, forget what I said. Wow. That's a new one. But if you don't want to, like, hang back, you can just, like, rush in here and... Or invincible when doing a backstab or parry animation. Grab the windshield. And just to get rid of him, just two-handed smack him and he'll be gone. Okay, now, these shield guys, you want to kick them, because that stuns them. I'm only going to try and grab one at a time, because as we are now, they can hurt quite a bit if they hit you. Oh, darn it. I made both of them aggro. That might be a problem. Because they are pretty immune to backstabs because of how fast they spin around. So honestly, you want to kick them and do that. And as you can see, these guys do hurt. Again, I'm gonna heal again just to be safe. And past these crates is a little staircase. There's a vendor over there, but we're gonna wait. We're gonna clear all the enemies out of here first. Because better safe than sorry. Now for this, you kind of want to creep, so only one or maybe two of them go forward at a time. And you want to take them out one by one. Because honestly, strong attacks work pretty well against them because they're so weak. That's one, and here's the last one. Alright, so there are no immediate enemies in the area right now, which frees us up to give space to do the glitch, which will make the game very easy. And make just like getting all the spells and miracles whatnot easier because, well, you'll see. That for some throwing knives. And you want to jump here. As you can see, that's where we were before. To get to the top area of this building. And we will get a crossbow as well as some bolts. But we're not going to really need it because we are going to get a bow very soon. Now just drop down. And here we are, back again. I love the interconnectivity of this game. It is fantastic. Well, now that there's no enemies around, we can freely just go to this vendor. He's the undead merchant. Do not attack him, because we need him to do a glitch. So talk to him. Yeah. Purchase item, and we want to buy wooden arrows, and since they're only 3 each, this is why we needed 2,997 souls, so we can get 999 of these things. And there's a reason for that. Alright, grab those.
Thank you, kind.
Now, we are going to be able to do the glitch to make us incredibly overpowered. And this still works, so you could hop on the game right now, and this will still work. So what you want to do is change the order of a soul item. Make sure it's only one, because you want to use as many different soul items as you possibly can. So each individual one can be used for this, which is why I'm using a large soul of a nameless soldier first, because there's only one of them. So put that up there. Now, you want to highlight the wooden arrow. Oop, did that wrong. Highlight the wooden arrow, hit drop, hit 999, but cancel it. So what we're basically going to do is trick the game. Now you hit A and right bumper immediately. or what's it? X and R1. And that screen should show up. This is when you'll know it looks like this, because you can see under the brightness, it's like two jumbled messages. We're basically combining two menus. So I hit A, and you have to hit the left and down part of the D-pad, or the equivalent of PlayStation, at the same time. Oop, did it too fast. Because we're essentially... Oh, now if the brightness changes, that means you did it wrong. Darn it. Like, once you know how to do it, it's easy, but it's easy to kind of fumble up. But it's easy to reset up again. That may have been... Yeah, that was too fast. We were trying to get it onto... okay without changing the brightness, because then we're pretty much in the clear to perform the glitch. There we go. So now we just hit right, hit A, then use, and since 999 was the last number stored in the menu from the wooden arrows, we are going to use 999 of this singular soul item, which will give us nearly a million souls. And this can be done with any soul item in the game, excluding boss souls. So yeah, with every individual soul item, you can do that exact same glitch. And we are going to do that with every single one that we've picked up thus far. And we should have quite a few souls by the end of it. And you see, once you know how to do it like that, and we just get an absolute boatload of souls. And this is how we're basically going to cheese the game this entire run. Now, when you see what I did there, how I had 3 of these large souls of the Lost Undead, I make it so I only have one individual one. Because if you have, like, say, 3, you doubt, it uses up all of them. So I only be able to use 999 of them for each individual item, which maximizes your soul gain. I mean, yes, it can get a bit tedious once you have, like, case of only have 9 of those other ones, but I assure you it is well worth it. And as you can see, like, the menu gets a bit screwed up, so just look for the menu, and we'll reset the menu later to, like, fix its, like, order. And obviously, like, the smaller soul item, like the less souls it's going to give you, but it's still going to give you quite a bit. Like, you're getting hundreds of thousands in, like, seconds. Man, do I wish there was, like, a soul exploit like this in Dark Souls 2. It would make the game so much less of a headache. Because, yeah, like, after this one's completed, that one is next. God help me. You know what? Just for the sake of it, let's actually reset the order to, like, clean it up. Okay, so I think I'll just start dropping these one at a time. Drop. 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 So for those of you who are struggling to get, like, the Platinum Trophy or, like, the Dark Souls or the Dark Soul achievement, this will basically help you do that in, like, the easiest way, because you'll be able to buy pretty much anything you want, like, no matter what stage you are at the game. And as well, you'll be able to be way more powerful than you have any right to be, and we haven't even fought, like, a real boss yet, with the exception of a Silent Demon. Alright. Now, I believe this glitch is specific to the remastered version, so if you have an original version of the game, I don't know if it works. It might. I don't see why it wouldn't. I mean, it's not like the dragon head glitch that was patched ages ago on the original copy, which doesn't work as a default in this version of the game. But I don't know why this glitch wouldn't, because the menus are identical to the original version in this one. So this glitch should still be possible and doable on pretty much any version of the game. It was only discovered after the remaster came out, which I find hard to believe. Alrighty. Only 5 more, then we can stop doing this and just level our character up to an insane degree. And we'll be able to get most of the stats to the soft cap, or their first, the soft cap that they have. And I think some to their, like, hard cap even. Like, strength and dex, I think we can get right to their hard cap, like, with this first batch of soul dupes. Which is great. So we'll be able to have a crap load more health, a bunch more stamina and equipment load, so we can wear more armor, and we'll just do more damage by default due to how high our stats are going to be. Alright, just 3 more, and you can see we already have like 4 million souls, which is hilarious to me. Because we are basically going to just stomp all over this game, especially this early on. Now, what would be really great, which you'll see later on, or shortly, is if we can get the Black Knight's sword to drop this early on, the game will be even easier. Good thing is, though, I have like a backup weapon in mind if we don't get it, because it is a random drop on the Black Knight who's farther into this level. And even when we have, like, a bunch of our stats level, like, at this point, Black Knights still hit like a truck. So they should not be taken too lightly. But if you're good with parries and backstabs, you should have no problem with them. Come on. And personally, I think they are still scarier than the Red Eye and Blue Eye Knights from Demon Souls. Because Black Knights just look terrifying. And they tower over you on top of it like they're just big. They're big, scary guys in these creepy black armor. So yeah, they'd be terrifying. And alrighty, that should be all the items. So just reset the item order so it's actually fixed. And that should be all of our soul items. Fantastic. Now that we have plenty, might as well buy some stuff from him. Can buy this to buy messages. You can buy this if you basically want to be invaded. I have my game set to offline mode, so that's kind of useless to me. But if you want to basically advertise, hey, invade me, I'm open to invasions, set it to online, then use that, and you'll be more likely to be invaded. So we want to buy the residence key, the repair box, and the bottomless box. Nothing we want to buy here except the short bow. And all the standard arrows. As you can see, they are dirt cheap compared to the amount of souls we got. So buy all of them. And because they don't weigh anything, we can carry as many as we want, which is a godsend. Because, man, you can't really do that in Demon Souls. And he sells the chain set, which, you could buy it, but I wouldn't recommend it.
Oh.
Alright, he'll say thank you and all that stuff. And without further ado, let's start leveling up. Because there is a bonfire right over here. And we're going to rest at it and finally turn human. Oh, one thing I forgot to do. First what you want to do Actually, wait, yeah, that's fine. We can actually reverse our hollowing first. No humanity. Oh, right. Oh, right, we do need soft humanity first. Do I have to have it equipped? Nope, I need to have one. See where it says 0, next to my, like, health and stamina bar? We need to have that, at least have one, if we're hollowed, to become human again. So, the same thing that applies to the soul duplication actually applies to humanity and just consumables in general. So we're going to drop 4 so we can pick up the other ones later. But we're going to change the order of a humanity. Do the same thing as we did with the souls. And then when we pop it, it'll give us like infinite humanity, but it'll cap at 99. See, there we go, 99. Now what that will do... Well, humanity is also useful if you're like running low on SS Flask because just one of them will instantly heal you, like to full health, regardless of how big your health bar gets. So the cap on humanity like buffs is only like 30, so having 99 is literally just absolute overkill and doesn't provide any actual benefit. But now that we have 99 soft humanity, we can use some to make ourselves human again. And there we go, we are now human. And now we can also level up using our raw souls. So, I believe... Well, I have the chart pulled up, so let's just get ourselves all the way back to... So vitality is 30 and 50, so let's just start with 30. That should be plenty. Now, attunement, I'll just put up to 1. And that caps out at 50, because after that you get no more attunement slots. I'm only going to really keep it at 10 for now, because I only want 1 miracle, which we're going to buy off of Petrus later, which will basically negate our need for Homeward Bones. Endurance is 40, because after that there's no stamina, but we will actually go to maxing this out. As you see, our equipment load keeps going up, but our stamina doesn't. Strength is 20 and 40, so we're just going to get that right up to our hard cap. Right? I can see you all chat now saying, oh my god, this is hilariously broken, and I know, it is, but that's what makes it so fun. Alright, dexterity is 20, 40, and 45, but we'll bump that all the way up to 45. Resistance is kind of a useless stat initially, but it is decent early on. And it's 15 and 30, so we're just going to make it to 30 and just leave it alone, because after that, it doesn't really give, like, the best, like, increases. So faith and intelligence will be next, and we want to get those up pretty high. But maybe not to their, hard caps. But I did a run of this last time using every soul item, and we got up to level 504 by the time New Game Plus started. So there's room. So you could dump this last point really in anything you want, but I'm going to dump it into intelligence right now. And we'll just leave that alone for now. As you can see, we're already at soul level 132. Which is where you usually are by the time you're reaching, like, endgame. But we're, like, in the first, basically, area. So, yeah. As you can see, we have a lot more vitality, got a lot more stamina, and now we should be able to... Oh, no, right. We need the Halberd Ring first. So you can put your armor on, and you should be able to fast roll, as you can see. Oh, that's right. Also put on your bow that we recently got and equip our arrows. Now, there won't be a ridiculous level of cheese like there was in Demon Souls, like killing a boss with arrows. I mean, there are strats where you can do that, but quite frankly, they're like, you don't need it. And as you can see, we have so much more. Oh, right. Something else I forgot to mention is item discovery. Now you can see right there, our item discovery says 210. Barring any special items that boost our discovery all the way to the maximum of 410, which is the highest, basically, luck you can get in the game. Now, enemies are more likely to drop certain items, which is why I'm hoping with it. That only works with depending on how much soft humanity you have. So basically, if you have 10 or 30 soft humanity, your item discovery goes up for every bit of humanity you have. Now we have a bunch more bleed, poison, and curse resist, which will serve us well basically throughout the entire game, because curse is an absolute nightmare in this game if you don't know how to like counteract it or know how to avoid it. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So right here, we can pull out our bow. And we'll just take care of these firebomb guys. Now it kind of like goes to the right a bit, so you want to like almost aim like that because of the curve it shoots at. And like see, like we got to go a little bit farther out because of how the arrows come out of the bow. For real? There we go. All right, so we got him. It's all right. No more guys raining firebombs on you. Like at this point, like as you can see, we are like, even though this like longsword isn't even like upgraded, we are more or less one-shotting these guys due to the increase in strength we got on from other items. Now there's a Black Knight right below us, and even if you hear his like footsteps moving about, he actually won't like run up here. That's literally just him moving. So you don't have to worry about being like surprised by a Black Knight just yet. There's literally nothing over here. But you want to go up here to grab these, which are black firebombs, which are basically firebombs on steroids. It's kind of like how there's like a pine resin and a black pine resin in Demon Souls. Now, for mimics, you can see how the chest has a chain on its side, and it's pointing like curling away from you. When we find a first mimic, you'll see the chain like pointing towards us. That's how you know it's a mimic. And it looks slightly different in coloration too. But we won't see a mimic for quite a while, so for now, every chest is still safe. And let's just deal with these idiots. And as you can see, even when you get hit, like, you really shouldn't get damaged too much. And as you can see, they're dropping, like, all their armor that they usually wouldn't at this stage, but since of our item discovery is so high, we're getting them pretty frequently. So grab that firebomb. And another soul item. Now down there is a ring we're going to grab in just a second. And you know what? I actually will use that soul item here. Typically, I usually tend to wait when we get to like a bonfire or basically essentially a checkpoint or you beat a boss before you use any of the soul items, but sometimes when I grab them, I like to just use them right there and then, because I know what's coming and I can more or less conquer regardless, and if I die, I know where to go to retrieve my souls. Alright, now we grabbed the residence key to open that door, but first let's get rid of this archer. And let's actually grab these guys. the same thing. Just, well, actually, since you're strong enough, you should be able to, as you saw, just like cut through his defenses. Now he's gonna light that on fire. Once you get to that hole right there, just run back. And that should just fall down and miss you completely. Get rid of him. To get that chest, we need the residence key, which we bought from the merchant, which opens this. Opens this chest, and we get some gold pine resin. Now, depending if we get the Black Knight sword from the Black Knight who's right to our left, we'll use this to buff our weapon for the coming boss fight upstairs there. And now, we should be perfectly poised to deal with the Black Knight. Now, it's possible we can get a backstab off of him right here, but if not, we're going to have to retreat a bit to like a more open area. Nope. So you can honestly just like D-lock on, then run away from him, then bring him to here so you have some space to fight him, and he will chase you. Yep, there he is. Like, even with as big as our health is, he does still kind of hurt. So as you can see, you can wait for a big lunge like that and just backstab him. And they are pretty easy to parry as well. Like that. If we're lucky, he'll drop his sword. And if he doesn't, no big deal. Oh, we got it! Nice. Okay, so we don't need the gold pine resin at all. So we're just going to take that off. Oh, that's great. Oh, oh, thank God. And as you can see, we go from 149 to 341 with this monster. It scales with a C in strength and E in dexterity. And as a bonus, it does 20% more damage against demons. And since it's so heavy, we are going to have to, like, take off our armor. So we can fast roll. But that will soon be negated because we're going to get another very overpowered ring. Oh my God, I'm so happy because that's a 20% drop. But eventually you'll get to an area where, like, Black Knights respawn. Like, once you killed him, he's dead. Like, he does not respawn. There's only in one area in the game where Black Knights respawn. That's like at the tail end of the game to get their weapons. And you need to get all Black Knight weapons, which includes the shield, for the Knight's Honor achievement. So grab the blue Tearstone ring. We'll put that on right there, but we're going to be taking that off shortly. So we need the Black Knight sword. Like, even if you don't get it here, I'll show you where to get it later. But it is one of the unique weapons that you need for the achievement. Oh, man, did we luck out. We got so lucky. Now the game's getting even more of a cakewalk. Oh, I'm so happy. Now we can open that door, but before we do, there is a crystal lizard hiding up here. Now, it's not there. I always can't remember. It's like, okay, it's right up here. It's in one of these barrels, so just smack it. Right there. And we get Twinkling Titanite and a Titanite chunk. And with that Twinkling Titanite, you upgrade like special weapons or quote-unquote unique weapons, and we can actually upgrade our Black Knight sword with it. I think either once, maybe twice, so we can get to +1 or +2. And like in Demon Souls, most unique weapons go up to +5. So yeah, we can get even stronger this early on. And once you kill Crystal Lizard, they actually do not respawn, so you can't just constantly farm them. You just need to know where they are to get rid of them. So, before we go upstairs and actually fight the boss, using the Master Key as our starting gift, again, can't stress enough how important it is you get it. Use the Master Key, and we are going to fight Havel the Rock down here. A unique NPC who you've probably seen from the massive rock armor and giant weapon he wields in the game. We want the ring he's wearing. So what you want is for him to, like, kind of roll or like come up there so you can run away from him. Wait for him to attack, and try and get around him for a backstab. I recommend you have your shield up at all times, because as you can see, he hits like an absolute truck. That will pretty much one-shot you. Even with this much health, he could maybe one-shot me with the amount of health I have. Oh! And because we have the Black Knight Sword, that does a lot more damage than we should. And now he's dead, and he will drop us Havel's Ring, which will boost our equipment burden by a monstrous amount. See? It's 80, goes all the way up to 120. And we are never going to take this off. And now we can wear our full current armor set and be able to fast roll. And we can use the master key to open that door. That's an area we will come to later. And you'll see where this connects to later. But with that done, we are now free to head up to that fog wall we saw earlier and take on the Taurus Demon. I think we might actually one-shot him in this fight because of the attack we're going to use on him. And because this does 20% additional damage to demons, this is the ideal weapon to actually have fighting him. And if you don't get it, we can just use the longsword buffed by gold pine resin, which boosts our weapon with lightning. And lightning is hilariously broken in this game. It is a very good status effect to have on, because very few enemies are actually resistant to it, while most like take a lot of damage from it. Alright, we're gonna go through the fog wall. Before we head along the lines and have the boss actually spawn, we are going to go up this ladder and deal with the archers that would interfere in the fight. Look at that. Just like the absolute destruction. Ooh, Titanite Shard. Free those are always nice. But we're eventually going to come to a vendor who's in that building way over there. Can almost see where he is. Or we can buy a bunch of those so we can actually start upgrading weapons. So now what we're going to do is we're going to creep on forward till he jumps down, then run away. Alright. And here's the Taurus Demon. Now for real luck, we can actually get his weapon. Which yes, you can in fact get his weapon he wields. So now we just do a punching attack, and this should just kill him. And it does. Oh my god. The destruction. Oh my god. That's insane. And we get a Humanity Homeward Bone, as well as some souls for killing him. And with that, you can see, once we get the Black Knight Sword this early, the game pretty much becomes a cakewalk. For years, I thought there was like a crystal lizard like in one of these barrels, but it turns out there isn't. Despite the popular belief that there is. There's a soul item right here. Now, do not step on the bridge. Immediately make a right, and we shall meet our boy Solaire. Praise the sun. Yep, keep talking to him. Tell him yes. Tell him yes again. And you will get the White Slime Soapstone, which basically lets you leave a summon sign down for people to summon you. And I think that's all his dialogue. Ghostly Incandescent, yep. And we are also going to progress all the quest lines of the NPCs in the game. Alright, so his quest line is advance as much as we can right now. Now we just got to... You can't open that door yet, but we will be able to open it later. So for now, just book it, run, 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 while aiming for the right side. Because the dragon's gonna come, and we just made it. That probably won't kill you at, like, with the amount of health we have, but it will definitely hurt. And go down this way, and here is a shortcut to the bonfire. So that's done. We are going to get another quote-unquote unique weapon in the game right now, which is the Drake Sword, which is one of the many weapons you get by cutting off the tails off of certain enemies. So first things first, you gotta kind of aim for his tail like there to hit it. Sometimes he has it straight here so you can hit his tail twice. Like, bar getting the Black Knight sword, the Drake sword is probably the best weapon you can get at this point. The only problem is, like in all dragon weapons, it does not scale with anything, so it just has like a flat damage number unless you upgrade it. I believe it does 200 damage, so it does still pretty nice damage. One more arrow should do it. Maybe not. Bottom line, keep hitting his tail. It should break. There you go. You'll get the Drake sword. As you can see, like 341, and there it does. It doesn't scale anything, but does offer a bunch of flat damage. And it's unique. Its strong attack is good because it sends out like a shockwave, which is very useful. But since we have the Black Knight sword, we don't need it. But you do need this for achievement, so make sure you grab it. Now we could go this way, but there are like some rats in there that I don't want to like deal with yet, because you don't have a way to cure poison yet. I mean, we have enough health where it won't really be a problem, and our resistance is high enough where we shouldn't be poisoned if we get hit by their attacks. But we also want to get the bonfire that's under the dragon, and we can't get it if we like run that way. So we got to basically brave the fire and get the dragon to run down. Then we have to run past him to get to the bonfire. So you can kind of bait him by like doing that, which will kill the enemies there so they don't like get in your way. And as you can see, the fire does sometimes like hit you there. And that's what you want him to run down and then run right on past him. Sure, he'll probably breathe fire on you like that. But what you want to do is just run all the way inside here and just hang out in this room, because then he'll fly away. Like, away from the bridge. And he won't come back. See, there he goes. He won't come back until we, like, go far enough out into the bridge, so we can still grab the items that are hanging out there. So he flies very far away. Now, this is actually where you can find the Sunbro Covenant, the Heir of Sunlight Covenant. At this stage, you need to have, I believe it's 25 faith to get it right now. Because that's how you can join it earlier on. We just can't access it now, but this is where you need to go to get it. And we will be able to come just warp right back here once we can warp between bonfires. Just grab it so I can show that off. But this is where you would find your second covenant. As well as get the Praise the Sun gesture, which is the best gesture in the game. Fight me. And there you go. So now we can grab this, another Soul of the Nameless Soldier, as well as the Claymore. The Claymore is the weapon I would use for the most part for the game if you do not get, like, the Black Knight sword or any of the Black Knight weapons the first time you fight said Black Knight in the world. So now, we actually are going to use these since we reached a bonfire. might be able to level up a little bit. Or we might not. I'm not entirely sure. Whoop. And... come on. Darn it. Almost got it. And there we go. Alright, so now we can rest here at the bonfire and... how many more can I give myself? I can go all the way up to 40. So I can get 11 more. And you know what, that's fine. Let's actually boost our health a bit more and just get faith up to a nice even 10. Which is fine because we'll get some soul items later anyway. And we'll get to our first blacksmith. Or our main blacksmith that we're going to be using for this playthrough at least. So there we are, buffed up a bit more. Like, once we get to 50 vitality, we'll leave it alone for a while, but we will be able to get vitality, endurance, strength, and dex up to 99 within this playthrough. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, 6 is plenty. So now we go here and open this gate. Now, this is the only way to open this gate. Because if we took the path with the rats, we would have cleared out the room of there and gotten up the ladder right there. So we wouldn't have access to that bonfire if we didn't run across the bridge. So that's why I always go that way. So forget him. Now, there is another Black Knight at the top of these stairs. So I recommend you just slowly walk. And he has the Black Knight Greatsword, which hits like a monster truck. So you do not want to get hit by it. Because even with my health, he can easily two-shot me with it. And if he drops it, even better, because we still need it. Really love if he dropped me the shield, though. Oh, as you can see, like, the amount of stamina that took away. Let's see, are we going to get anything? Nope, Titanite chunk. That's still good to get, though. Okay, so we didn't get his weapon now, but we can always get it later. And he, again, any Black Knights that are out in the world besides one area, they do not respawn, so he's just gone. Alright, so that's done. Okay, now I could... how many of these guys can I kill from here? Like, I don't need to get rid of them from here, but I might as well. Alright, because what we wanted to do is just, like, race up here. Because that boar is going to, like, be chasing after us. Problem is, this armor, like, offers, like, no poise whatsoever, so if we get hit, we're gonna be stunned. Now, what happened is a guy we technically could outrun runs through, then, like, shuts off the gate. Essentially. Alright, now what we're gonna do is we want... technically, you can use the alluring skull to, like, throw it right in front of the fire there, and then the boar over there will basically kill himself by running into the fire. But because we have the Black Knight sword, we can actually just smack him by two-handed. And this guy doesn't respawn either. Did he drop his helmet? Because you can actually wear that boar helmet and cosplay as Mr. Boarman. So yeah, once he's taken care of, it's pretty safe down here. And as you can see, there's the troll who shut the gate. We'll be coming around to that in a bit. Just making sure I got everything up here. I think we did. Yep, nothing else up here. And the way forward is down here. Now, this guy kind of tries to set up an ambush of, like, stuff for you, because, like, there's guys on the side here. But again, don't fall for it. Takes care of them. So just take care of them. Man, I can't wait till we get, what is it? The Elite Armor. The Elite Knight set. Which is basically the de facto set that's on the cover of the game. Kind of like how the Flute set is the de facto armor of Demon Souls. Alright, Mystery Key, you want to pick that up. Because it will allow us to get one of the best, possibly the best ring, which is tied with Havel's in the game. Alright, take care of these Chuckle Nuts. And there is a soul item right here, which is pretty easy to grab. Just slowly walk on the rafter here, then pick it up. And then walk back. Alright, how are we doing on time? Oh, wow. We got plenty of time. Perfect. Alright, there's really nothing else up here. I just like to break those. And go through the fog wall, and you'll see we are up here now. Alright, that's the normal way to go. But you can get another shield, which is not a new unique one, but you can still grab a free shield here if you want, like, an upgrade. Oh my god, the destruction. You can get close enough to backstab these Boulder Knights. They're basically like a souped-up version of the Hollows we fought at this point. And we got the Night Shield. Alright, now we head up this way. Get rid of this spear guy now, because he will actually walk behind you. And we walk forward, and he can, like, trap you in, like, an inescapable trap. Because there's a Boulder Knight over there, and another spear guy over here. So he would usually run down here. You try to run back, then you get sandwiched between those three guys, and you literally can't go anywhere, and you die. Uh-oh. Yep. Boulder Knight probably heard me. There he is. But as you can see, thanks to this monstrous sword, he is no problem. Now that path leads to the front of the church over here. Or we're just gonna, like, go in there first. And then get the loot at the front. Alright, just get rid of these guys. There should be no trouble for you at this point. Crossbow. Now there's a non-respawning Baronite Knight here, who's a big boy. So get his attention. He should, like, start running after you. So fight him out here, because there's a guy up there who shoots magic at you. So just smack him. And he'll die, and he'll drop a pepper chart. Now, he does not respawn. So just hug the wall here, and the caster up there won't even see you. Or, like, attack you yet. And right here is another Firekeeper soul. We can upgrade our flasks even more. Now, that is a four-eyed channeler. Once they see you, they start shooting magic at you, and they do a dance that buffs all enemies in their immediate vicinity, and they buff them to a ludicrous degree where even the basic enemy can, like, easily, like, four-hit you. It's actually insane. And their trident is a rare weapon that you need for the achievement, but there's an area where you can farm them, and I'll point that out later, but you are going to need their trident for the achievement. So now he's dead. He does not respawn. So now, like, there's a bunch of Baldur Knights. They're gonna slowly but surely make our way here. I mean, I could, like, kill them, like, from ranged, especially with a headshot. Like that. Like, he barely has any health left. Alright. And, yeah, just this one right here. Now, these ones are a bit more dangerous because they can parry you. They'll do a certain stance where they're, like, kind of, like, pointing their rapier at you. And if you hit them, they'll parry you. Open you up for a riposte. And right here is the halberd. And here's the tool that shut the gate way back when. Kill him. Pillage this core for the basement key, which is what we'll need for the door back by Solaire to open. Hit the lever, open the gate, so now we even have another shortcut open. And that leads back to where we were before. Now, what I'll do first is, we'll go and loot everything at the top of the church, free a certain NPC, and then go down there, because that leads to Firelink Shrine. Yeah. Love that shortcut. It is such a good one. Now, you can use the Drake Sword and its special R2 attack, or right trigger, if you're on Xbox, to like shout out a shockwave to kill all these guys. But this is also fun. Just, like, back away, wait for them to attack. Now, the danger about this group is, if you didn't kill the Chandler, he would have had buffed all these guys where they'd have like a little blue aura around them. And with all of them jumping you, you would very easily die. It doesn't matter how much health you have, they would hit you like an absolute truck. So yeah, when you see a 6-eyed Chandler, just kill them ASAP before they can do anything. There's another soul item. We'll go that way in just a bit. I don't think there's a soul item here. Nope. Okay, that leads to the boss. We're not going to do that yet. Now, if you remember the mystery key we picked up. Night Shard. Yes, I love getting free loot. Especially loot that we have to buy later on. And this is just another soul item. Oh, or humanity, excuse me. Now you can see that looks like an unbreakable door because it is. And with the mystery key, we will free Lautrec.
Then
Talk to him. He's basically the yurt of this game.
thank you. I true. Yeah, I've just.
Okay.
I am.
Yeah, Mr. Sinister guy there. Now we are going to head back to Firelink Shrine using that shortcut elevator we saw earlier. And he will now be at Firelink. Now, you don't need... because we're going to kill him. Like, right now. But we're going to kill him in a pretty hilarious and cheap way. Well, first things first, even though this does bring us back to Firelink, what you should do is roll off at the right time so we can get that key up there. So we're right here, and would you look at that, we're back at Firelink Shrine. There's the secret area. We are now on top of where we were in the beginning. Yep, there's the skeleton graveyard. Now here, just fast roll off. Then you'll land where you need to. Now, we could go back to the asylum right now. Which I might actually do. I'm kind of debating it. Because we could just totally clear that place out, like, right now. But first, do this, and now we can grab that other asylum key. And just walk down here. And just to be safe and give us our 10 flasks back. And see, here's Lautrec. If you leave him alone and continue to kill bosses, whatever, he will kill the firekeeper here and disappear from the area. And that bonfire, you can't rest at. Like, that checkpoint, that cutoff is gone until you find him and kill him. Now, if you want his armor set, you can finish his questline, because it is a pretty cool looking set. But I would recommend you don't if you want to get his ring right now. So the best way to do this is to just like, we're gonna kick him off. So, but first talk to him, and we get a sunlight medal. Now we need, I believe, 10 sunlight medals in total for the game to, once we join the Heir of Sunlight Covenant, we need to give it 10 sunlight medals to get the one of the miracles we need
I am grateful to you for
the All Miracles achievement. Okay, so I think that's the end of his dialogue. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kick him off, because like that's like,
Well,
shit.
have we?
Oh, okay, yeah, shit. Like, see, the problem is like the kicking is like so precise. So can I kick him one more time? And he should fall off. Crap. There we go. Now he should die, because that leads to the pit. Now, so you saved there. So what we gotta do is like save and quit the game, and his item will be where he died. So it won't be inaccessible. That's just like the easiest way to cheese him. I mean, at this point, he shouldn't be too much of a threat to you. But there we go. So let's put our bow back on. And get that, as well as the Ring of Favor and Protection, or as everyone loves to call it, the FAP Ring. And what that does is it boosts our health, stamina, and equipment load, but if we ever take it off, it breaks. So we can never remove it once we have it on. And once we put it on, boom. Gives us a bunch more health, gives us more stamina, and we have even more of an equip load. So we can never remove that ring under any circumstance. Like, seriously, just do not remove it. Alrighty, with that done, we can do a few things. Oh, since we have Twinkling Titanite, we can actually... Oh, that's right, we can't that. We have to buy that from Andre. We can actually upgrade our own equipment to a certain level anyway. Once we go see Andre the blacksmith up there. Which, you know what, let's do that first. Okay, you can talk to Petrus, like, still. Oh, that's right, I do want to buy Homeward. That's the miracle I want, because it basically replaces Homeward Bones. And he sells talismans, but we're going to get a talisman for free that's has better scaling and magic adjustment than that. So if I were you, I would just buy all these. Whether you use them or not doesn't matter. actually throw on Talisman there. And I'll set our miracle, our magic to homeward, because essentially now we don't need to have our homeward bones, because homeward basically does that for us. And I totally forgot. I gotta, like, go to the Firekeeper. I always forget. And I end up carrying around this Firekeeper soul for God knows how long. So you can give that to her, and she will give us our Estus Flask +2. Reinforce it. That's a yes. And now we got it to +2. Excellent. Alrighty. Now, we can actually head back and go meet Andre and get a way closer bonfire. Ugh, love it. I mean, I don't even know why I'm killing them like at this point, because you pretty much can outrun them. Alright, down here is good old Andre, who's going to be our main blacksmith. Alright, there we go. Now, before we rested that, head this way. There's good old Sen's Fortress of Bullshit. But we have an NPC here that we can talk to and start his quest line. And here is Siegmeyer of Katarina. Good old onion bro. Alright, keep talking to him. That should be his last line. Still closed, still closed. Yep. Alright, so his quest line will now advance. So we'll find him in his next designated spot. And we'll rest here because it's the quickest bonfire towards the boss. And here is Andre, our main blacksmith. Special embers required for that. We basically need to find certain embers to max out an item of a specific type, essentially. Yeah, of course, armor. Yeah, unlike Demon Souls, you can upgrade armor, which, like, only with certain armor sets would I recommend upgrading, because we're going to be wearing them more frequently, and you can get the resources away easier. But I wouldn't bother just yet. Learn the gesture of hurrah if you like. But what we really want is, because we have it, the Crest of Artorias, we want that. There's a way to not need the Crest of Artorias and basically get to the area that it opens a different way, but we're going to buy it anyway because we have the souls. We're going to need that and that, so we can just buff our stuff at the bonfire. He sells, like, typical weapons as well as arrows. Like, nothing to write home about, but he also sells Titanite shards, which is what we really want to have. I'm going to buy about 20 of them, so we have a good chunk, because there are going to be a few weapons I want to upgrade, and you're going to need them to get a weapon, or any weapon, up to +5, which is what you're going to need to do to get pretty much every boss weapon / weapon crafting achievement in the game. Right, with that done, let's leave him. Alright, now, first, before we go down there, we are going to get rid of the Titanite demon that's guarding that little hallway. let's just repair all of our shit. Because there's a far generous amount of stuff when it comes to breaking down than usual. So reinforced weapon, we are going to upgrade our Black Knight sword. Oh, we can't get it to +2. That's stupid. Oh man, that's nice. So we already have that to +2. We are not going to upgrade our short bow because we are going to get a long bow soon, which is just better in every metric. And the bottomless box is basically we're going to dump all the stuff I don't want. But we'll do that later. Because right now we can actually do some soul stuff. There's one, and then just one other soul item. Oop, too fast. And there we go. Now the item order is reset. We got all the stuff we want. Alright, so let's see what we can do with our level ups here. And almost finish that. I mean, we might just keep that for now because... Although, would be nice to get this up to, its real hard cap as early as we can so we can just leave it alone. So yeah, I'm just gonna put that there. Then we only have to get it up to one more for 50. And then for the rest of it, we're pretty much gonna be focusing on intelligence and faith just to get certain vendors to basically, allow us to buy their stuff. Even if it won't come for a while, we are going to need to get those up to a certain level. I think we need to get that up to 11 or 15, I can't remember which, to have Big Head Logan give us his sorceries, but he's not going to be seen for quite a bit, so that's not an immediate concern, but I will probably focus on these for the most part after health is maxed, well, till we stop really caring about it. But alrighty, alright. Now that's done, and our Black Knight sword is upgraded a little bit. We're going to take on a Titanite demon. Now these guys are found in the world. They don't respawn except for one in the world. And for each one you kill, they get more health and they hit harder. So we're going to kill all of the, I guess, necessary ones. Yeah, their weapon, even though it kind of hurts and has a ridiculous hitbox, it's actually kind of a garbage weapon, unfortunately. And what they drop is Demon Titanite, which is used to upgrade boss weapons. Now that leads to the forest area, which we're not going to do just yet. We'll come back to it. But you need a total of 10 Titanite, Demon Titanite, to fully upgrade a boss weapon. And there is going to be one that we're going to be using primarily once we get there. Once we have that said boss defeated. Okay, so yeah, now we're clear to take on the boss on top of the church and get the first Bell of Awakening done. We are more than ready. And Hollow Soldier Helm. Now, there are ways to you could just discard the item like you can in Demon Souls, just delete it from your inventory and have it just disappear. Which is what I'm probably going to end up doing for most of the weapons I don't want to keep or ones I won't be using. But if you're going for an all achievement run or all trophy run, just keep everything fine. really is like a good thing that the Chandler does not get respawn, because this would be hellish if he buffed them. Yeah, I'm not going to bother healing because the boss will be dead so fast anyway with the amount of damage we'll be doing. And since we're human, which you need to be human in order to summon like NPC phantoms to help you in a fight. Because here, specifically Solaire Sign is like gold because he's a sun, bro. And if you want to continue his storyline, summon him for every fight you can where he's available, as in this one. And once you beat the boss and he lives through the boss fight, you'll get a sunlight. And yes, praise the sun indeed, Solaire. My dude, let's go. God, I love Solaire. Everyone loves Solaire. And if you don't, I don't know what's wrong with you. Alright, wait for him to get fully on the stage because his pathfinding is a bit weird, but now that we're on here, the boss fight can start. Skip the cutscene. And here's the first Belvo. So you want to cut off his tail. There we go, we got it in one hit. Wow. You need to cut off his tail for that. For the achievement. As you can see, like, you and Solaire like just absolutely dominate this fight. And now that you survive the fight, you'll get a summit medal as well. And now his quest line, it will be continued. And then all that's left to do here is to go on up. It's a very long ladder. And don't worry, there's no items like in here, so you can just climb up without having to worry about it. Climb up this ladder. And you get to ring your first bell. Now you should get an achievement for that. You should get the Bell of Awakening Undead Church achievement from that. And down here is an NPC we will buy a few things from. Good old Oswald of Katarina. Or Kareem, excuse me. Learn the gesture because it's the best PvP achievement. Basically, it's rubbing it in your face when they lose, so get that. It's just so funny. So purchase. You get the things of indicted players who have sinned, and you can report people who have sinned here. But what we want to buy from him are his purging stones, which basically cures us of curse. And there's a miracle he buys or has there, which you'll need for the achievement. And he also sells a very nice talisman, which we are going to buy because I want to use that. There is no ring achievement, so you can buy these if you want them. The bleeding resistance ring, the poison resistance ring, as well as some rings of sacrifice. I just bought another one just to have it. And he also sells some homeward bones. I'll just buy, like, 10. Or maybe 15, like, just to have them. Now, if you smack an NPC and they become hostile to you, you are going to want to come to him and request absolution. Now, we have not sinned. Because we didn't actually attack Lautrec, we kicked him off and he died. So it doesn't count as us making him aggressive yet. Let's say if we went to the Crestfallen Warrior and just smacked him with that, he would become aggressive and try to kill us. To fix that, and the same thing with a quest line, if we want to recover a quest line, if we hit like an NPC and accidentally make them hostile, we gotta come back here and request absolution from him. Granted, it's gonna cost an absolute shitload of souls, but if you want to do all the quest lines and get their stuff, then I recommend doing it. Sigmar's, I believe, is the only quest line you really want to do, because he gives you miracles and whatnot that you're gonna need, and the only way to get them is from him. Essentially, if you follow this, you'll be able to get everything you would need for any of the achievements in the game. All right. So that's completely finished. So this area is done. We are actually going to head to Firelink and go back to the asylum, probably way earlier than we should, quite honestly. But we are going to clear it out. And what's funny is there are 2 Black Knights there now in the asylum. And man, I really, really, really hope they drop me their shield, because their shield is also needed for the achievement. But it is one of the best medium shields for stability in the entire game. I believe it's the Silver Knight shield that has it beat by a little bit. But we will get to that later. Oh, wow, I screwed myself up there for a second. Whoops. Okay, so we gotta go back up. The elevator. And instead of dropping down to get the key, we can actually go up to the top there and lay in a nest. Which is where the giant crow, who's like right over there, will take us to the Undead Asylum again. So again, make sure you get that key first before you do this. And head back to the asylum so you can explore it in its entirety. So here we are at this bird nest. Just curl up like a ball. Now we just have to sit and wait. I think it takes like about 30 seconds or so. Or like 15. It takes like a couple seconds. So just like hang out a bit. Eventually the cutscene will play to where the bird will pick you up. And then it's just going to carry us right back to the asylum where we started the game. There we go. There's the cutscene, and we arrive, and we're back. Now, assuming you don't rest at one of the bonfires, which I think you should, just like walk right up back to the nest, and you'll be taken back to the Firelink Shrine. Now you can see there's these flame torch guys here. So yeah, let them come towards you one at a time, because they do one attack with a charge like that. That's the attack. If they hit you with that, like, you get stun locked. Like, I don't even know if you can withstand it. You have to have a ridiculous amount of poise too, but it's really hard. There she is. There's Snuggly. Now, one thing we actually can give her is some rubbish. Now, all we need to do now is save and quit. I believe that gives us a Titanite chunk by trading rubbish, and this can only be done once per item.
You, give me.
Alright. Yes, Titanite chunk. Alrighty. Now I will pop a heal. Here. Okay, there's no other enemies outside. First things first, we are going to kill like all the enemies here. Do not walk into the center of the room yet, because it will break and drop us into a boss fight, which we don't want to do just yet. So first, we're going to head this way again. This time, you can see him down there. There's a Black Knight here. So it's another chance to get his sword / shield if you weren't lucky to get him on the first one. But yes, there is a Black Knight here. Now, so be aware of that. I parry your ass. Oh, almost one hit. That's disgusting. And... oh, we got another sword. Nice. But once you have it, you can just like put that in the bottomless box. Like, you don't need it once you get it. And over here is Oscar, who is now hollowed and is hostile. So first, do that. Oh, we were able to get him. So we gotta kill him. Because the shield he's wearing, we need. Because it is a unique weapon. It is the Crest Shield. All right, so be sure to pick that shield up. You are going to need it for the achievement. As it is, I will put the Velka's Talisman on. What do I need? Velka's Talisman for that? Right, what stats do I need for it? I need what? I need 16 intelligence. Okay, so that's why. Well, in that case, I actually will unequip it. That's going to be our main talisman for most of the game. Where is it? Alright, so slap on the crest shield is just overall better, and it blocks 80% of magic. So that's going to be our default shield whenever we're not using a specific one, and it looks a lot nicer too. But again, be sure to equip it. Or, like, not equip it. You need to pick that up for the achievement. Alright. Going back around here. As you can see, it's a nice sense of deja vu, except we are now absolutely slapping this area. And it's probably a good idea to kill these guys, because they can actually drop down to the boss arena as we start that. Alright, now that we got the key on top of that little building back at Firelink, we can open this and get the ring I mentioned at the very beginning. The Rusted Iron Ring. That is going to come in very good use when we get to Blighttown, specifically the swamp part of it. Because that will allow us to essentially be able to move better instead of slowing us down in the swamp. It's basically the Sodden Ring in Demon Souls. Alright, there's still a bit more loot we gotta get before we get to the boss. So we're just making our way backwards in the initial starting area. You can actually see the boss we'll be fighting. See, there's another Black Knight who's guarding an item, which we need to grab. See, that's the Stray Demon, who's basically a souped-up version of the Asylum Demon. The floor basically breaks and we end up in front of him, and the boss fight starts. So, let's just deal with Mr. Black Knight here. Oh my god, the parry. You absolute chump. Get good. Him. And another sword. Wow. Really lucky with the sword drops. And we grab this, the Peculiar Doll. We'll need that to grant us access to a secret area. And with that, all the loot in the asylum is done. All we need to do is kill the boss, and then we never have to come back here. Now that boss is 100% optional, but he gives you a Titanite slap, like right off the bat, like this early in the game. Which is what you're going to need to max out a weapon enforcement, I believe, in Standard and I think Raw. It says it in the description. Now, you can rest at this bonfire if you so choose. I am not going to do that. Actually, you know what? You could rest at it. I'm gonna, be a bit risky and not do that. Because you want to fall down on this side, because you're farther away from the boss. Now, to roll away, as you can see, it will do a lot of fall damage to you. If you want to mitigate it, you could just take off all your armor, but then you gotta quickly turn it back on. So yeah, just the same thing. As you can see, he's a lot more health. So essentially, just let him do that. And just run around and smack him, and that's pretty much the boss fight. Now when he does that, run away, because he has a magic shockwave which will hit you if you stand near him. But as you can see, he's pretty easy. Also, because he's classified as a demon, we're doing 20% extra damage on top of our upgraded weapon. because it's a Black Knight sword. So this is pretty much ideal. Right now. Alright, he's gonna do that. Run away. And he's dead. And there we go. He drops a Titanite slab this early in the game, which is hilarious. And now Titanite slabs, they reinforce a standard weapon, and they max out the crystal and lightning weapons. So you are going to need at least 3 of these in total to get those 3 weapon upgrade paths. I'm trying to remember, what about raw? I don't think you even need a slab for that. I think you just need chunks, because like raw is like kind of like stupid. It's like the lamest of all the weapon upgrades. You know what? Let me actually look. Does the chunk? So yeah, the way it goes, it's like Titanite shard, then it's large Titanite shard, chunk, and then slab. The beauty of it is, once they're at a certain level, you don't need any more of the shards. You just need the next higher tier. And as you can see, there's different types of chunks. Like that will reinforce a fire and chaos weapon. 2 more weapon enhancements you need, and you'll need red Titanite slabs to get them done. Probably the most tedious ones are like the weapon upgrade paths. Because also you gotta find the embers too, in order to even upgrade them to a certain extent. But alrighty, that is the asylum. There is literally nothing else you can do here. So, that done, just head on back to Firelink Shrine, and we will continue. Like a ball, and now this bird will take us back to Firelink. Here we are. Pick up any soul items, did I? I don't think I did. Oh, and Twin Humanities, like down there, they basically give you 2 humanities instead of 1, but they're essentially the same item. Alrighty. Okay, now you hear snoring here, because like an NPC is going to spawn there once we get the second bell rung, but you're not going to want to talk to him if you want to get like all the covenants accessed. Big shout out to my guy Drago. I know if you're watching in the chat somewhere, I noticed how you haven't found the Darkwraith Covenant. You cannot talk to that NPC like at all until you find the guy who gives you access to the Darkwraith Covenant. There's a lot of things where you gotta do very specific steps to, basically get certain items. Ooh, that's right. Forgot to. You can attune magic here at a bonfire as well. I now am going to pop on Homeward. Still in insufficient stats. Wow. Okay, so I still can't even use that. That's kind of annoying. Alright, so once I can use that, that essentially acts like a homeward bone. I can use that, then like return to the last bonfire I stayed at. So I actually will put those on for now. Alright, so now we are free to tackle the forest. We'll also get our next armor set that we'll be wearing, which is the Elite Knight armor set. And it looks very nice. And we actually get some real poise from it. And to get to the forest, we just gotta go right behind Andre. where we fought the Titanite demon, because the forest leads it's right there. All right. Whew. Now, there are a few things I want Andre to upgrade. Well, I should have plenty of souls, because one weapon I am absolutely getting that is a boss weapon is, one of the boss weapons we can craft from Sif. Specifically, the Great Sword of Artorias. And to do that, we need to get a plus 10 broken straight sword or straight sword hilt in order for it to work. But we can only get it up to plus 5 at this point, but I recommend you guys be upgrading. Like, look up the recipes for each boss soul because they are a bit convoluted, but I will make sure I tell you which weapons come from which souls. Because those I know. And Sif's unique that you need to kill him 3 times. So you need to get into at least New Game Plus Plus in order to upgrade, to get, like, every weapon. So I'm going to get that to plus 5. Okay. Not going to bother short bow, and I'll wait till we get, like, an actual boss soul to show it off. Alright, so that's plus 5. So that's plus 5. Perfect. Alright. Now on to the forest, where we will get our first boss that has a boss soul. Alright, here we are. Darkroot Garden. This place is actually not too bad. The best part is, the tree people drop all of these moss clumps, which reduce status effects. Like, that cures bleed, one cures poison, and one cures toxin. Oh, I'm wondering. Should we do the basin first? I mean, we could. You know what? Oh, yes. You want them to drop those, or just the plain purple ones? Blooming purple moss cures toxin, which is what we'll be needing when we go into Blighttown because of the blow dart guys. You know what? I think we actually will do this first. Nope, I lied. Let's do the boss first because I want to get my new armor set first. You can actually see the boss right up there, the Moonlight Butterfly, and we fight him right on that bridge. Because this area isn't too long. Alright, now the tree guys aren't too dangerous, and you can see them hiding all over the ground. Like, that's one right there. You can smack them out. Like, their most dangerous attack is that one. Like, when you see their arms like that, they're about to grab you. Don't let them grab you because they'll, like, partially eat you. And it takes a lot to get out of that attack, and it does hurt quite a bit. And there is an item right here, another soul item. We'll get that item in just a bit. Now, the Crest of Artorias opens that door. You're not going to open it yet, but we will. Now roll through that. It's a secret wall that has a secret bonfire. And we should kindle this, which basically allows us to get 10 flasks every time we rest at it. At least in this stage. Eventually, we'll be able to upgrade any bonfire to give us 20 flasks. But that's still a ways off. So rest at that one. Ignore the door for now. And we will continue to head deeper into Darkroot Garden. It's actually a pretty short area, all things considered. Now, there are trees hiding around there. If you grab that item, they'll all spring up, so just kill them preemptively. And we get another soul item. All right. Traverse the white light. Now, this is where you can get another unique weapon. It drops from these big stone knight guys. Specifically, you can only get the item to drop from them. Technically, they drop 2 items, but you can actually buy one of the items they drop from a vendor. So I'm trying to think. Is it the sword or the shield? I can't quite remember. Oh, do not let them get that off. That basically is a miracle. Ooh, did we get it? Yo, we did get it! Yo! Okay, so if you're extremely lucky, you get the Stone Greatsword, which is one of the unique weapons you need for the achievement, so be sure to get that if they drop it. And their shield, we can actually buy. They also drop the shield, which you also need, but you can buy the shield somewhere else. So you just really need to farm for the sword. I can't believe we got lucky enough to get it. It's like a 2% drop rate. But, oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so there's 2 knights hanging out here, so honestly, you want to just walk a bit forward so only one wakes up. I mean, you do so much damage, they're not really as threatening as they should be at this stage, because usually they're pretty scary. And they hit decently hard. But as you can see, like 1, 2-handed with our current stats, like, is enough to bring him down. And right here is the Elite Knight set, which we will put on once this fight is done, as we get rid of the knight and the trees. Oh. Did he see me? Oh, yeah. Do not be caught by that grab attack. And the trees are annoying, if anything else, because only they like to swarm you with like multiple enemies. And they can hit from far away, which is also obnoxious. And he just totally whiffed on that. Alright, time to put on the Elite Knight set. And we should still be able to fast roll? Oh, no, we can't. Okay, so take off the helmet, we can fast roll. Because I do plan on making endurance a bit higher, like maxing out endurance, like we'll be able to carry pretty much almost any armor set in the game with fast roll. But still, it looks nicer, and it's just the iconic look. I love it. Alright. First, go that hidden tree there. Now this little snake thing, smack it. Kinda like that. As you grab that, it attacks you. Got a partisan, which is another spear type weapon. Alright, there's another Stone Knight here, and there's another one right next to him over there. And I still can't believe they drop out the sword. Like, that's a stupidly rare drop. Same thing with the Chandler's Trident. That thing has also like a 2% drop rate. Kill the snake, it's not guarding anything, but get rid of it anyway. And there's just one more Stone Knight in the area. Or this room. And he's right here. Get rid of him. And now it's safe to pretty much just, like, run around this area without worrying about any enemies. Now there's a secret little path that's behind this tree, which is in fact fake. So just smack it. It will die. And we have a new path down here, where you find the frog. I think they're called frog rays. Like, they're so shiny. Like, their texture is ridiculous on them. Oh, he fell through the floor. They tend to do that, honestly. And they only show up in this area of the game. I mean, they, like, hit you with their tongues, but it doesn't really, like, do a lot of damage, so they're not really dangerous. Okay. There's a stone knight right over there. Now, if we walk forward this way, some frogs should come out of the water. Like so. And you kind of want to bait them away from the knight so he doesn't, like, wake up as you kill them. And they drop green blossom, which basically speeds up stamina recovery. As you can see, as they're smacking me, they don't really do a lot of damage. Oh god, there is another one. Couldn't tell. There are 4. Counted 4. Here, and oh my god, let go of my body. Their ragdoll physics are kind of weird. And back here is a very big soul item, Soul of the Proud Knight. That'll give us quite a few souls once we dupe it. And here's another stone knight, and again, just a big old smack. Take care of him. There's nothing else down here. There's another stone knight at the top here. Almost there. And there he is. Smack him. Oh, still nothing. And as you can see, we're back over here. And we get the wolf ring, which just boosts poise. Very nice ring. Jump off there. Oh, that's right. We did rest of the bonfire, so these guys actually respawned. But no big deal. They're no real challenge. So yeah, that's all the loot for this part. Now let's go fight the boss. Gonna go back to where we had all of these stone knights. This boss fight will be made even easier with the summon we can bring in. And this boss is pretty much a joke, but bringing in our summon is pretty much overkill. And hey, there's no kill like overkill, so why not? So if you're human, you break these trees, you'll see a summon sign for the witch Beatrice. And she's basically like a mage. So if you're like me, who's rocking like basically pure melee and some arrows, she's basically the ideal companion. Alright, now there's no enemies on the stairs, so just feel free to go up, but kind of wait a bit because her pathfinding is kind of questionable. Up the stairs, up the stairs, up the stairs, until we get to the fog gate. And there's the boss who's going to come down once we go through the gate. The problem about this thing is it takes forever to fucking land to actually hurt it, like melee. But she uses magic on it, which, like, as you can see, just that, like, takes chunks of its health out. Like, its attacks, as you can see, like, pretty easy to dodge. Like, look at this. Like, we haven't even hurt the boss yet, and Beatrice might just straight up kill it. And she did! It didn't even get to land yet. Oh, that's funny. So there we go. We got the Moonlight Butterfly Soul. Now that makes 2 weapons. The crystal butterfly horn and crystal ring shield. And you're going to need a +10 spear and a +10 shield. Using its soul once we get to the blacksmith who makes boss weapons to make those 2 weapons. So that's how you get that. So we go all the way up here. And we get the Watchtower basement key, which is the normal way we would get to Havel. The Divine Ember and a Homeward Bone. Now, the Divine Ember we can give to Andre, who will allow us to ascend and upgrade divine weapons. And the divine upgrade path is one you'll need. Okay, so now that the boss is dead, I could have used a Homeward Bone, but I just don't feel like it. Now we'll take on the, Alright, so we're out here. We're not gonna use the door for the Crest of Artorias yet. Yeah, as I said, we're not going to be using that door quite yet. But what we will use, or where we will go, is to the Darkroot Basin. Which is basically like the lower section of the forest area. But it's pretty short, honestly. There is a Black Knight here who's wielding a halberd. Another one of the Black Knight weapons we need to get. Alright, now, as you can see, it's kind of hard to see the floor a bit, but just keep hugging the wall and you'll be fine. Even if the path's a bit thin. And there is a crystal lizard right over there, as you can see. Here we are, the Darkroot Basin proper. Nope. Gave me that Twinkling Titanite Knight. And Large Titanite Shard, which is what we'll need to get weapons to +10. So basically, there's going to be somewhere where you can just buy an infinite number of them, as well as farm them. And there's leather set, and there is the longbow, which is what we are going to use as our main bow for this playthrough. And we can still fast roll, fantastic. It just does more damage, and it, obviously, hence its name, it shoots arrows a lot farther. And if we head this way, we'll come up across our next Black Knight, who's right there. Up, now he sees us. Now he's going to chase us. Bring him up here so we have room to fight him. Then just wait for him to chase. And take care of him. And we got it. Nice. Black Knight Halberds. So that's another one you want to get. As well as a Blue Titanite chunk, which you will need for upgrading magic and enchanted weapons. And the same corresponding slab to finish those upgrade paths. And if you go all the way down here, we'll get the Grass Crest Shield, which basically gives us stamina regen as a shield, but I don't use it mainly because it doesn't block 100% physical damage. I mean, if you don't care, I say use it, because it is very nice. And here's another bonfire. wish just for the sake of it. We're going to rest a step or we're not going to bother kindling. We are going to hit this lever to call up the elevator and open this shortcut. And we will be at the other end of another area we previously discovered. Alrighty. And at the bottom here, we have Valley of the Drakes. So yeah, way over there is where we came down initially from New Londo Ruins. And now we're on the complete other side of it. And we're just going to completely clear this place out because it's honestly pretty short. Oh my god, that noise. Yeah, these drakes are kind of annoying. You can farm them for dragon scales to upgrade the drag weapons you find throughout the game. But they are kind of annoying to deal with. Okay, so we are gonna totally kill all the drakes in the area just to make it that much easier to deal with. Alright, so sometimes they can full on like just fly off like that. When they do that, they can sometimes just like, best time to attack them is when they're like breathing lightning like that. And hitting their head does more damage. Oh, dragon scale. Nice. So you use that to, again, upgrade the dragon weapons. Yeah, I'll go that way later. Let's kill the remaining ones here. Now, I suggest, like, if you guys are listening to this on a high volume, I suggest lowering a bit because this is going to take a bit. Like, fighting 3 drakes is honestly a bad idea. Like, they're just cumbersome to deal with. So for now, I'm just going to cheese most of them with a bow until they die, and we have plenty of arrows to do so, assuming you can hear me over the screeching of the drake. Man, are they obnoxious with that noise they make. But once he's dead, we should be safe to grab the item that's on the bridge there, which is the entire bandit starting set, as well as the spider shield, which is what we'll be using when we get to Blighttown because it blocks a lot of poison. One more should do it. Okay, easy. Now, will he aggro if I shoot him here? I don't know. No, he doesn't. Okay, what we're doing, since we're close, we're doing a lot more damage, so we'll actually just finish this drake off with arrows again. Sorry for the noise. Really love how FromSoft made all drakes sound annoying as all sin, but what can you do? Once he's dead, we'll just run up and smack the last one, then all the drakes in the immediate area will be dead. We can get all the loot, because it's really not too much. Oh my god, that noise. Oh. I'm shocked none of the other ones dropped a dragon scale. That's pretty good. But once you get like a certain range, you can boost your iron discovery even more, boosting your chances to get stuff. But if you want to farm dragon scales, this is the place to do it. Let's climb up this ladder here. And we got the red 2-stone ring. Again, there is no achievements or trophies related whatsoever to any rings, so whatever rings you want to get or ignore, feel free to. Alright. There's only one more Drake left in the entire map, and he's right over this way. It's kind of dangerous because he's on this, like, cliff of his. So I'm trying to, like, just lure him, like, all the way over here. But the problem is, like, he tends to back up. And he killed himself. See? They do that. So yeah, didn't have to bother fighting him, which is good for us. He is guarding a humanity in here. And over here, you can see hanging off the cliff there is our first undead dragon. Now they are very dangerous. No matter what level you are, I could be max level and I'd still stay away from them. He's guarding some items that we want, though. There's one item you can grab that doesn't aggro him, but the other two will. And once he dies, he does not respawn. So we are just going to kill him here. Quite honestly, the safest way to do it is, again, cheese some arrows. Sorry if that's, like, kind of loud. Can't do anything about it. Fire bombs actually work pretty well against them. Because obviously it's undead and fire, hence the weakness. And like if I'm any closer, he'll start swiping at me, and those hits hurt. Like he can two-shot me in like Havel armor, for God's sake. So once he's dead, he will drop some dragon scales, and we'll be able to loot everything he's guarding. And that will be everything related to drinks. Like, that will be the area in its totality, which is nice. I always love when we can just, like, knock out an area real fast. And then we'll finish the rest of the Darkroot Basin. Only a few more, and he should die. Yep, that's it. And there's Dragon Scale and some souls. And here we get the Soul of the Proud Knight, the Dragon Crest Shield, which you need, and the Store's Straight Sword, which you need. Now, what's cool about the Straight Sword is it has a Divine modifier, which means if you kill skeletons, if there's a Necromancer nearby, they won't resurrect. And if we go a bit farther, you can see that's where we came in from New London Ruins, and that leads down to Blighttown. So, yep, that's the whole area done. And just showing the interconnectivity again. Excuse me, I cannot speak. With the world. So we're just going to ride that elevator back up to Darkroot Basin. And finish that area off. And if we're lucky, we might be actually able to finish the entirety of the forest section in the game. And take on Sif. But that's a big maybe. Depending how we are on time, we might. We got like half hour left. Yeah. All right. So now this area is completely cleared out. We can ride back up the elevator. The beauty is now that the shortcut's open. Regardless of what side we enter it, we can always recall the elevator to get back to a certain area. Which is great. Alrighty. Half the reason I rested at that bonfire is because sometimes if you're close enough to the edge and they do that little swoop attack, the drakes, they can just clean knock you off the cliff and kill you. So I was really just doing that just in case. It's rare, but it has happened. And it, oh man, is it frustrating. All right, let's wrap up the basin area. Now these crystal golems are resistant to magic. But you can farm them to drop blue titanite chunks, though it's a pretty rare drop from them, so you really want to boost your item discovery as much as you can. So I like to just kite one over at a time. I mean, now that we have this thing at +2, they are pretty weak. So, do your thing. 1, 2. So it's almost a one-shot, but I can hit them with 2, and they're down. Now you can see down there, that's a Hydra. I highly recommend you just, like, get all the golems. What the heck? Okay, now they're aggroed, so they're slowly gonna start making their way over here. Okay, one's kind of running, so that one will eventually pick up, and there's one down there, so there's 4. In total, we want to clear them out because we got to run all the way to the Hydra, kind of in his face, in order to kill him, essentially. Oh my god, it's so easy. So glad we got the Black Knight sword this early. It really is like a godsend. And the reason we're hanging back is, like, that thing can shoot, like, water, like, projectiles at you that really hurt, because it shoots 1 from each of its head. There's, like, 8 heads. So, yeah, they hurt. That's why we're going to be booking it, like, up to him. We were probably going to get a hit, but we got plenty of heals and plenty of health, so we should be fine. Get rid of this golem. Have some drop. And we can grab the soul item from behind this tree here. Now just run, run, run. You see him getting ready to shoot. Use that rock as cover. Probably gonna get hit at this point. Ooh, okay, we're close enough to where they can't really hit us with it. Oh, now there's like a invisible. There's like a drop that's kind of hard to see here, so just like hang out right here. And they should start attacking with their heads. Like so. And you can attack it when their heads get close. Or they do their little attack. Now wait to instantly kill them to get rid of all their heads. But because some of them like go off like the beaten path where you can't even really hit them, we're eventually going to be reduced to killing it with arrows. As you see, they kind of move back and forth. Now, if it does that, just like stand like right here, and they always miss. Ah. Like, see, this counts as deep water. So, unless you have that ring on, the rusted iron. This counts as, like, unsolid ground. Okay, we should be able to get another head down before we can resort to arrows. Oh, yeah, no. Oh, wow, we actually got the distant one. Oh, yeah, never mind. Oh, we could run and get that one. Okay, we got that. Now that head never hits you, as you can see. So we can just finish off what's left of his health. Right here. And with that, he's dead. And he does not respawn, and he'll get his Dragon's Tail. As well as the Dusk Crown Ring. A very nice ring for a magic build. And here's the default Knight set. Now, I'm going to replace my Halberd ring, put on the Rusted Iron ring for a little bit. Granted, we're mid-rolling here, but I'm doing this so we can get one of the NPCs we need to spawn. When she's past this waterfall. Don't worry about that ladder. That leads to where we're going to be anyway. So ignore that for now. Okay. Now it should spawn. So when you're right here, save and quit, and a gold golem should appear. Anytime you see a gold golem, with certain exceptions, they have an NPC inside them. There it is. Now, gold golems are way more dangerous. They hit harder. They're basically souped-up versions of the golems we saw beforehand. So just keep that in mind. It's like, wow. Really? Don't want to be hit by that, because that can cause curse build-up. Or curse build-up, but it's not too much. One more, and he should be dead. Nice. And he will drop Princess Dusk, who's from the DLC.
So, most accept my...
Talk to her. Tell her yes. Now she'll dip. Now we are going to walk back to where we fought at the Hydra. And her summon sign should be there, and we can summon her as a vendor. And we'll also get a gesture from her as well. And if the right things are going, we should easily be able to finish up the forest bit completely, which is great. So there's her summon sign. And unless you kill her, like this is where she'll always be able to be summoned. You hit that and she'll show up. Now I believe if you leave the area, she disappears and you have to resummon her every time. But I could be wrong about that. So talk to her again. Learn the gesture if you like. And she sells some of these. Now none of these count toward the achievement of like sorceries and whatnot, so you can buy them if you want, but you do not need to. You can if you want. I'd like to just to clear them out, but you don't need to.
If thou art in need, I may the...
Okay, now once you've summoned her, there should be a corpse with her armor set on it, way back where you first are, so now we're gonna run back there again. And basically, if you wear her set, like, if you want to build, like, a pure, like, magic character, like, a very good set for that. Should be there now. Yep, there it is. That will only spawn once you've freed her. There we go. Kind of dusk, and then her whole armor set. Okay, now Darkroot Basin is done completely, and we are now going to head through the Crest of Artorias door and finish everything in there. It's not too much, but you will find another Covenant back there. The Forest Hunters Covenant, which is basically one of the main PvP ones you get in the game. Like the forest area up there is like one of the biggest hotspots for PvP if you want to grind some of that out. Not sure how active it is today, but it is one of the hotspots. Alright, now that that's done, we can put our Havel Ring back on. And we can go back all the way. Also, this tower up here is where we fought Havel. See, there's the bridge with the dragon. And when we opened the door way early on, this is where we fought Havel. And here's the Darkroot Garden, or Darkroot Basin. I love how it all connects. It's fantastic. All right. Next up, we're going to be heading through the final forest area, which means we are making very steady progress. We're basically clearing out every area that we can get above Light Town. So we're just going to head on back to where that secret bonfire is. We'll rest at it again just to get our extra flask back, just because. And head on up there. And we're back at the garden. Like, even though we don't have a lot of boys, it's nice that we just have boys now. Okay. Kill the one hiding. Just missed that one. And alright, we're all set. Now, I think about it, what soul items we got? We should have a few kind of big ones. Yeah, we do. So you can't, like, use these, and I recommend you don't. Use the boss souls, because otherwise you have to, like, kill that boss again in the next playthrough, because there's no way to, like, fight them again. Soul of Proud Knight. Yeah, there are 2 million a pop using the glitch. That is insanity. Okay. Let me just look at something. Okay, so we didn't get... Because there are a few soul items that we get, like, beyond there that are really big, like Soul of a Brave Warrior. Like, those things offer millions, as in plural, of souls. Like, I think, like, 6? No, like, or 5. If I'm remembering the math right. So, yeah, they are a very big thing to get. Look at that, we have, like, 5 million souls, like, right now. So we'll definitely be able to boost or finish up getting intelligence and faith up to the place we want them to be. Darn it. Almost got it. There we go. And one more. Oh, come on. And I choke at the end. Darn it. And there we go. We set the order. One thing I do kind of wish is that you could just, like, yeet stuff into, like, a bottomless box from the menu. That'd be pretty nice. Alright, with that done, let's get you to 50. Bring you to 20. You to 20. Actually, can we get them both to 25? We can. Okay, that's pretty safe for them. What do we need? 3 more. I mean, strength, like, it doesn't really help us, like, much after, like, 40. It really doesn't. But, like, that should definitely be high enough. At least for a while. Then I'll bump these up a bit more. Maybe, yeah, you know what, let's actually do endurance because I want to get my equip load up. So where I can fast roll in as much armor as I want. Is that enough for the helmet? No, it's not. Almost. One day. But we definitely have the stats to use the Belkus Talisman as well as the Miracle Homeward. So now we can officially get rid of those, or get them off our hotbar. And now using the Crest of Artorias, we open this. Now, a bunch of NPCs are going to rush us and try to kill us, so I would suggest creeping forward. Technically, there's a building that's like directly ahead from where I'm facing. You can just run in there, talk to an NPC, and they'll stop fighting. Or stop fighting you. But I would actually recommend killing them. Because they respawn, and as long as you kill them before you join the Forest Covenant, you're pretty much safe from, like, any consequences. Like him, he's dead. That's the knight. He's kind of invisible, as you can see there. The real reason I'm doing this is because you can get the bow that has the best range in the game of any normal bow that doesn't include great bows. Yeah, Lord the Magician over here, so he can't use his magic. Hide behind this tree. Force him to come a bit closer. And then just wail on him because he's a magician and he can't, like, really hurt you with that really gimpy sword. Look at that. Get good. All right. So he's dead now. There is a knight and an archer. Kind of over here. Kind of off to the side, though. Oh, that's one. Oh, right, there's a thief. Right. So the thief, as you can see, they're all the NPCs here are kind of visible, except for the bandit one that's over there. Oh, the cleric saw me. Now he's actually solid. No, you don't. You will not get that heal off. Get out of here. All right. Where is that knight? But they're actually pretty far away, so you know what? Let's just deal with the bandit because he's right here. He's going to aggro us immediately. He kind of hits hard, as you can see. But he's no match for us. Now, that cat you can see right there, we're going to talk to her, but not yet. You need to talk to her to join the Forest Hunters Covenant, which you need for an achievement. Now, again, you don't need this bow we're about to get, but it is a nice bow if you just don't want to use the long bow. It has the longest range of any, quote-unquote, normal bow in the game. As you can see, we can now voice him. So he's kind of a pushover. So if he's there, the girl who's the archer should be right there. I see her. Okay, she's dead. You'll get her hat as well as her bow. Now, the Black Bow of Ferris is basically a longbow on steroids. It shoots arrows super far. But if you don't want to use it, you don't have to. And with that, all the NPC characters are dead, but those guys all respawn once you rest at a bonfire. But if you're part of the Forest Hunters Covenant, they do not attack you, and they are friendly. Before we do that, we're going to go around, get all the loot here. I'm assuming I'm walking right back to the tower. Yes, I am. Okay, so we're back at the entrance. So now, there's nothing in the middle. So we're gonna hug at the edges, because there's a bunch of trees here, actually. Bunch of tree guys here. And they hit significantly harder than the ones we've seen at this point. So you do not want them to start swarming you. Kinda gotta lure them. Alrighty. You see there's an item over there. I believe that is the Eastern set, which is Shiva's armor set. He's essentially like the Satsuki of this game, except they cut his whole quest line, more or less, where he's basically like a vendor. Like, he would, like, betray you if you gave him this weapon, kind of like when you give Makoto to Satsuki. But they cut it. I don't know why. Alright. Another one. As you can see, there's a lot of trees over here. But just take them down one at a time so you don't get, like, gangbanged by them. And here is the Eastern set. Okay, I don't think there's really anything else on this side, but there are some trees. Keep that in mind. Yep, there's one. Oh, two. No, you will not grab me. There's another one. Alrighty. That should be everything. Says, yep, that leads to that little cliff, and that's where the cat lady is. Well, literal cat that can speak, I guess. Alright, so now here, you can see, like, it's a little path. You want to go down here. We'll go across there in a second. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let's go across there in a bit. Let's just go down the ladder first. Right over here is a very nice soul item. I will give you an absolute buttload of souls. And if you hug this like that, if you remember that ladder by the lake with the Hydra, this is where it leads. And down there is the lake where you fought the Hydra, and we can actually see Dusk right there. So there's that way. So that's how you can technically get around using the Reservoir Torch. You run all the way down here, get rid of the Hydra, climb up the ladder, and go this way, and then you're behind the door. But honestly, as you see, we can get more than enough souls to just buy it and use it. So we'll just do it that way instead. What we're gonna do is head across this bridge and basically clear out the area, like, backwards, then make our way back to the cat lady. Or the cat in that little tower there. So... let's see, it should just be this, yes? Because there's a few of these items over there, I know that. There we go. And we'll get how many? 5 million. Hot damn. We'll be getting a bunch more soul items in a bit. But let's deal with one of these scarier non-respawning enemies. The jungle cats. Yep, there's one. And 2 more spawn after we kill this one, but they do not respawn. Thank God. Man, are they dangerous. Gotta step up here, get angry. Yep. Do that roll attack. They stop, like, right on this little ledge. They do not, like, attack, like, away from it. Like it's their de-aggro spot. Okay, that's one. Now two have spawned. They don't drop anything. Let's wait for this one to get... I'm going to get angry. Come on, peek on out. Yep, little roly-poly-oly action there. Like smacking their head does a bit more extra damage. That's that one's dead. Now we're just dealing with the one. Like, the reason I fight them this way is because they hit like trucks, and they're just, like, not worth fighting, I guess, fair. Do the roll, do the roll. Do it. Like that. Like, that attack really hurts. And they're essentially like giant versions of Alvina the cat who we need for the cover. Okay, now that that one's dead, they are done. They do not respawn. There is nothing up there. There's no way to get up there. The ledge they spawn. And now we'll start collecting everything else in the area. Large Souled Brave Warrior. You know, actually, we'll just pop that now. Because we are going to go back to the bonfire just to level up a bit more. Look at that. 8 million. Okay, so that's all reset. I don't think there's any more soul items in the area. But we have plenty of souls. Just make sure you don't die before we get back to the bonfire. Now, that leads to Sif, who we're gonna beat. We're just at about 3 hours, but Sif won't take too long. So this is where the infamous mushroom guys are. The ones who hit like absolute tanks. Especially the big ones who you have to run from if you want to, like, basically survive. I mean, the little ones, like, don't actively fight you, but they can be annoying, and they drop gold pine resin, so if you want to farm them, just come here to do it. Okay. Now... Alright. So there, in that chest, is one of the embers you need to get. I believe it's the enchanted ember. I can't quite remember. I think it is. So let's just lure one of the big guys over. Oh man, are they scary. And like they're taking too. So I gotta wait for him to punch, and I'll see if he doesn't wind up like that. Ooh. Like, I'm really being risky here. Good thing is, once they do that... Great. I stunned them, so I had an opening. And they drop gold pine resin, I think, a lot more frequently because they're bigger. I mean, you don't have to kill the little guys, but honestly, why not? They tend to get in the way when you're fighting the big ones anyway, so, The good thing is there's nothing else in the area to loot up here except the ember that's in that chest. So we are going to let this guy slowly but surely come over here. Bait his attacks. And there's another one. Oh, wow, did I get lucky? Whew, alright. And rest easy. This should be the enchanted ember, yes? Yes, the enchanted ember. So we bring that to Rickert under New Londo Ruins, and he will be able to ascend any +5 weapon into an enchanted weapon. Enchanted weapons, quite frankly, like beat magic weapons by like a mile. But you are going to need to upgrade both paths to completion to get every achievement. And we got the stone set from the Stone Knights we fought previously. Alright, nothing. Now right across this bridge, we'll be back at the beginning. There's Elvina, we'll talk to her in just a second. Remember, we killed these guys. And 2 unique NPCs will spawn here. Once we join, do not attack them yet. Talk to her, tell her yes. Say yes. Join the Covenant.
And here.
And she'll give you that ring. So basically, you can't attack anyone who's in the Covenant, including the NPCs. Now that you rested a bonfire, they will all respawn, but they will not be hostile. You'll be able to just walk right past them, and they will not care. And here is Shiva of the East, who's basically wearing the full Eastern set. You'll be able to buy his shield and sword from him later, but not quite yet. And you'll also see he has a near invisible companion here who doesn't say anything, and he'll comment on it. Okay, now the reason we're not killing him is because when we head back to Blighttown, if we stay in this Covenant and go all the way down to Blighttown, he will show up as a vendor down there, and we can buy special weapons from him. Because we'll totally betray this Covenant, but not yet. Not yet. Okay, first things first. There's no other loot in the area. All that's left is to go fight Sif, so to be safe, let's go back to the bonfire, get our 10 flasks, level up, and then go fight him. Or her. I really don't know. Is Sif like a guy or a girl? I don't really remember. Like what the actual confirmation is, or if it is one, or if it's intentionally nebulous. Well, let's just repair our equipment for fun. As it is, reinforced weapon, we can actually upgrade our Black Knight sword again. +3, which will give us more damage. And I do want to start upgrading my longbow. See, like, the longbow scales with an A in dex and a D in strength, but this one scales with an E in strength and an S in dexterity, so it really is your personal preference. I won't be upgrading it, but I will be upgrading longbow into +5 to give us a bit more damage. And yeah, that's all I want to upgrade. And with that, now we can level up. So, get you to 50, maybe. You to 50. You to 50. Let's get you guys up to a nice 30. Alright, let's leave that for now. I want to see if I can fast roll with all of the equipment on. And I? Yes! Victory! Alright, we still got like 3 million, so where should we dump them? Anyway, that's fine. Dump it into more endurance so I get more equip load. So we can carry even more heavier stuff. Alright, so intelligence and faith should be pretty safe for, like, quite a bit. But we will upgrade those once we are able to get a lot of souls. Once we get bigger soul items. Resistance, we're never going to touch again. Attunement, probably never going to touch again. Though some of the better miracles and spells, you're going to need, like, multiple attunement slots. They take up, like, 2 slots. I think there is one that takes up 3 slots, but I can't say for sure. I think it's White Dragon Breath, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong. And with that, we are probably nice and set for Sif. So let's go take him on real quick, and that's what we will call it a day. Oh, right. I went the complete wrong way. Wait, what am I doing? I mean, it's more like free moss, so I might as well grab it, but... I went the complete wrong way. Well, let's just rest for fun. Alrighty. Now again, you need to have Sif killed 3 times. So New Game Plus Plus is required to get all of the boss weapon, all the boss weapons which you need for the achievement. As you can see, yeah, now that we're part of the Covenant, they don't care, they want to attack us, but do not attack them or you will be expelled from the Covenant and they will all start ganging up on you and try to kill you. So do not attack them. Well, now that we got, like, that ember, we don't need to worry about the mushroom guys anymore. And we just head right to the door with Sif. Now, fun bonus fact. If you do the DLC first, before you fight Sif, a unique cutscene will play. I won't spoil it, but if you want to know what it is, look it up. Alright, this will open now. The fight doesn't start right away. We have to approach the big sword in front of the grave for it to activate. And there is a ring behind the giant grave, which we're going to go grab first before the fight starts. I just like to give myself a nice wide area just in case. And there we will get the Hornet Ring, which basically increases the damages you do on critical attacks, like parries, ripostes, backstabs, and critical hits with like an arrow and whatnot. Absolutely brutal in PvP, because everyone uses it in PvP. It is basically like broken. Alright, approach the sword, Sif will spawn, and here we go. So basically just stay under him and you should have no problem with this boss. Ugh. God, this boss fight makes me so sad. Like how they make you fight this poor dog. Well, he's a wolf, but still. Like, the lore is he's protecting the grave because Artorias was his friend in life, and the thing he's guarding is the Covenant of Artorias, which you need in order to traverse the abyss later on in the game. So Sif you need to kill to progress the story. Oh god, this is why this boss fight makes me so sad. Like, when he gets to a certain health threshold, like, his attacks get weaker and he's limping. Oh, it's so sad. And as a dog lover, this actually hurts. So yeah, you gotta kill Sif as you cry on the inside. Get his soul, as well as the Covenant of Artorias ring. We get that. Nice chunk of souls. And that is it for the forest area. Now we can use Homeward to warp right back to the bonfire, and the entirety of the forest is done. So when we eventually betray the Forest Covenant, their retribution will never happen because we'll never need to come back here. Loopholes! And we can level up one more time, so why not? Let's just burn some of these souls. Or maybe we'll wait. Nah, we'll wait. Alright, everyone, that's where we're going to cut it off for today. Got a lot done. And in the next stream, we are going to make our way down to Lower Undead Burg. the Depths, and the good old Light Town, which I like way more than the Valley of Defilement because I think that is actually worse than Blight Town. Alright, everybody. That's it for the stream. Hit to follow my channel if you like what you saw, and if you're watching this on YouTube when I upload it there, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss an upload, and let me know what you think in the comments. Alright, everybody, you can also find me on Twitter and Discord. Links are in my bio as well if you want to just hang out and chat. And with that, hope you have a good one. I shall see you all in the next stream where we continue with some more Dark Souls Remastered. Later, everybody!